Hi everyone, you're welcome to MyProfessorNote. This is Bhupesh Sharma, and today we're going to talk about the Jacques Derrida, a very important theorist from a net set and gate examination perspective. The most of the time, the things which are asked from his are your terms and his works, right? So this is what we will focus today, and make sure you consider subscribing the channel. So let's start with his most important theories, but let's try to know about him a bit. So he was born in Algeria in 1930, right, and he was quite affected by the war which was happening out there. He was a Jew, right? So the place he was born there, the majority of the people were belonging to the other religions like the Christianity and the Muslim community. All right, so then let's talk about, I'm giving you these information because that help you to understand somewhere that what was actually going through, in his mind, what he was actually going through, right? So that he came out with this concept called the deconstruction. So deconstruction is something, it's going to be really easy for you now, as I have told you what his situation was actually. So deconstruction is something is constructed, you breaking it down. For example, there is a building, a construction work is happening, a structure is being made, you break it down. Constructing, then deconstructing, breaking that structure down, right? And then you try to understand those pieces when you broke it down, that how this whole structure was formed. And then what you see is that with these pieces you can create as many as structures you want, right? Not only one structure which is given there, right? So in the text, if you're reading it, the critics, the theorists, they will understand that a book just in a one way, the way they want to understand, but you can read it in as many as ways you want to, right? Deconstruction, when you break it down, you have the pieces. Now with the pieces you can build as many structures you want to. So when you are critically analyzing a book, there a book is trying to give you something, a meaning, it has a purpose, and it is trying to convey that through those words which are written on the paper. But you see that you can form as many as meanings you can. And now, with this deconstruction, which is coined by the Jacques Derrida, there are other terms which are directly related to it. For example, your difference, right? So difference is something that we know in the language. How do we understand something? How do we understand something? We understand it because one thing is different from another. But this is not only this. This is not only this. Your difference is the differ and the defer. So defer is something put off, means you trying to convey something but you're not conveying it now, you are putting it for the later movement. For example, there is a one signifier, right? Your one signifier is a glass, right? A glass, or you take it anything, apple, right? You look at apple, what do you say? So you give this image of apple. So what is apple? Apple is a fruit. So now what are fruits? So your signifier becomes signified, and then your signified becomes signifier. Means you never get the exact meaning, right? So this is how we can relate it to the deconstruction. Deconstruction means understanding something. Understanding something how? When it does not have a one meaning. When it does not have a one meaning, it has many meanings. And that's what deconstruction is. And to help this theory, he came up with these other terms like difference, and another term which he has given is the aporia. So aporia is something when you do not know, it's a stage of complete confusion. We do not know that how to understand this, you are stuck while you are trying to navigate. There is a text, you're trying to understand this and you do not know that how to solve it, you do not know how to get its meaning, right? You are stuck in the middle, you do not know how to came up with the meaning, and this state is called, this state of confusion and the puzzlement is called the aporia. Another term which he has given is the logocentrism. So logo means the language, right? And centricism means when you try to find the meaning just through the language only, right? So this is what the logocentrism. Another term he also given, that is the your Phallocentrism. Phallocentrism means phallus, right? Phallus is your masculine, that the meaning is always lies in the masculine, that your man community is given the more importance, right? His philosophies, his theory has impact on the other social theories as well. Whatever he came up in this field of literary theory, it has left a great mark on the other theories out there as well, right? So these are some of his very important terms, and beside this, his term is Arche-Writing. So we know that the Plato and Socrates, they have given the importance to the speech, right? Because speech is something which is the actual action, writing is the secondary. And now I'm going to I will just convey these binary two, which is the main focus of his deconstruction, right? So what he says here in the Arche-Writing, that the writing came first, then came your speech, and the secondary action of writing, because at the very beginning there was only writing, right? We just had the origin of the language was not in the speech. He said that it was in the writing. The very origin of a language was not in the speech, but it was in the writing, and that is called the Arche-Writing, which comes before speech and the secondary action of writing. We have writing here, like I say something and you write it, right? So writing is not given that importance as given your speech, right? So there is always a difference between these two, but the Arche-Writing is something which comes before speech. Origin was in the writing. That's what Jacques Derrida says here, right? So these are the very important concepts that you have to remember from a NET Saturn Gate examination perspective. Then we have this concept of binaries that we get to see in the Jacques Derrida, and that was his main focus. His focus here is that why man is given more importance over the women, right? Why we are trying to privilege something over the another, like your popular culture over the lower culture, right? Your intelligence over the emotions. Why cannot we look at them equal at their own places? Okay, man is masculine, he has more power physically, and woman does not have. But if we look at them at their own place, woman is great in her own category, man is great in his own category. But why we are always bring them together and try to make a comparison? That's what he tried to tell us here. So these are the important terms that you have to understand to score good marks in NET Set and GATE examination. If you talk about his work, I will upload them on our Telegram channel, which is MyProfessorNote UGC NET. You just go there. There I will upload all these works, and we will also conduct their quizzes. So make sure you join it and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to get access to the MyProfessorNote to the point notes for your English literature and paper 1 as well, I have given the contact below in the description box, so you can contact me there. I'll share all the necessary details on that, how to get access to them. Still then time, you just keep pushing your limits. This is Bhupesh Sharma, dedicated to the process. Believe in karma. Signing off.